Pakistan's Supreme Court just ordered Imran Khan moved to a private hospital. This is the third time the court has had to step in over his head in the last 6 months. Here is the full timeline and why it kept taking court orders to make this happen. Here is why this is not just a hit story. It's a real test of how much control a government has over a jailed political opponent's basic medical care. Khan has been Pakistan's most prominent opposition figure since being ousted in 2022, and he's been in prison since 2023. Every dispute over his political access has become a proxy fight over something much bigger, whether the courts can actually check the government when it comes to how he is treated. Let's walk through how we got here, because the pattern is the actual story. In December 2025, Khan filed a plea asking for permission to get medical tests done, a fairly basic ask. By January 2026, things got more serious. His family said he had lost about 85% of the vision in one eye. The government disputed both the severity and the timeline, saying the first complaint was actually lodged later than the family claimed, which they used to suggest the negligence claim was, in their words, politically motivated. Khan also underwent a 20-minute procedure that month to remove a blood clot. In February, the Supreme Court stepped in for the first time, ordering a medical board to examine his eyes by February 16th and ordering he be allowed to speak with his children. Here is where it gets genuinely messy. An eye hospital prepared to receive him, but instead he was examined inside the prison compound without his own doctors or family present. His sister Alima Hanum called the process unacceptable and said the family would reject any assessment where they were not allowed to select the specialist. The government's side, from Information Minister Ataullah Tarar Khan, was receiving better care than other prisoners, and any negligence claims were overstated. Officials later said his vision had recovered to about 70%, a claim the family didn't fully accept either. Fast forward to this week, new concerns emerged over his blood pressure. On Tuesday, the Supreme Court issued its most decisive order yet. Not just an exam this time, but a full transport to Shifa International Hospital in Islamabad for up to a month with a proper medical board that includes his sister, Dr. Uzma Khan, and his personal physician, Dr. Faisal Sultan. The court also ordered his family be allowed to visit him at the hospital and that he be allowed to speak with his sons who live abroad. Here is what makes this one meaningfully different from the earlier orders. Those earlier rulings asked for an exam, a checkup, a phone call, narrow, specific ask that the government could technically satisfy without really changing anything. This order is a full transfer for weeks with Khan's own family and doctors actually in the room. That's a much harder outcome to quietly work around. There is also real political context sitting underneath all of this. Khan's party PTI has openly tied hospital access to whether they will even resume talks with the government at all, and they have already announced a nationwide protest for September 27th. A government advisor, meanwhile, told the Senate Khan was already getting the best available medical treatment and dismissed PTI's concern. Right before the court disagreed with that assessment for the third time. My take, this pattern, narrow order, disputed compliance, escalation, repeat, tells you the underlying trust between these two sides is essentially gone. Neither the government's reassurance nor PTI's alarm should be taken purely at face value anymore. Both have an obvious incentive to shape this story. The case's next hearing is set for September 16th, right in between this hospital stay and PTI's planned nationwide protest on the 27th. My prediction, expect this same cycle to repeat unless something changes structurally. A month in the hospital, some kind of disputed account of his condition afterward, and another flashpoint heading into that September hearing. So, three court orders, months of disputed claims, and a political standoff that's using Khan's health as its main battleground. Either way you look at it. I will track what happens at that September hearing. Do you think this hospital stay actually leads to a real dialogue between PTI and the government, or does it just reset the same cycle?